30 people and injured many others at an illegal oil refining site in Iba community, Emoha local government area of the state. Also, efforts to get the reaction of the state command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) failed, as the spokesperson of the Corps, Olufemi Ayodele, did not take his calls. Well, earlier, the paramount ruler of the community, Eze Wobodo Jonah, says the casualty figure could rise further.
Right now, we don't know the exact number, but it happens. It's not at home. It's in the bush. People are still in search of people. Many of them burnt beyond recognition. A lot of people have been declared dead. They have gone there in search of both. Some people were found dead. Some people got wounded. I learned that one of the victims, the son of the person who was doing the bunkering, that he was also wounded. He lost his own son, and he himself is badly wounded. It's a very big catastrophe, and I'm not happy about it. Very sad day in the community. Nobody is happy.
Well, Eze Wobodo Jonah regretted that illegal oil activities continue in his community despite his warnings.
After hearing all my warnings and so on, I even sent Tankra to the community several times. I announced in our gathering that if no more bunkering in Ibra, anybody who goes on doing bunkering, if he's caught, that he will have to carry his cross because it is banned. I've been warning, and I've been warning. In fact, I've become an enemy to some of them, but I didn't care. I know the danger that it involves, but today they have seen it, and I think it should be a very big warning to all our sons. Those that are dead cannot come back again.
Well, on his part, the chairman of Emoha Council, Chidi Lloyd, called on traditional rulers to speak out against criminal activities within their domains.
It's unfortunate that people who have been misguided will lose their life in that kind of bastard manner in Iba. We have said this for the often time. Anybody who is in River State will bear me witness that there cannot be any shortcut to wealth. And I also have said to traditional rulers that they have a duty. It is not enough to be given recognition. They have a duty to expose criminal elements within their neighborhood. And of course, this can only happen.
But Dr. Lloyd also identified Obele, Rumuji and Ndele as communities where illegal oil refining activities persist despite efforts to stop them. He further raised questions about the military's role in addressing these challenges in Iba community.
It's currently going on in Rumuji, going on in Ndele, it's going on in Obele. And for all this, I have raised alarm to security agencies. It is not as if security agents or agencies are not aware of what is going on. I have always asked a simple question. How do these people transport this crude? There is an army formation in Iba. In fact, theirs is that they even fenced off the road. So how do these people move?
Moving on. Former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says he's happy at the tribunal judgment affirming the victory of Siminalayi Fubara as governor of Rivers State. The former governor spoke to journalists after yesterday's judgment in Abuja.
Of importance is that the party had pulled out from this petition, saying that we cannot be a party to this after we have reviewed our facts. Yet, the same boy continued and disobeyed to the party's decision. The tribunal has said it's unfortunate. We don't know what you are still doing here. When the party sponsored you has said, look, we're not interested. Why are you still here? The party has left this banner. So on what platform are you standing? So for us as a people, we're happy so the governor can relax and do his work, even though he will do his work. But we don't need much of this distraction again.
Also, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says he is grateful to God for the victory at the tribunal. Speaking during a brief church service at the Government House Chapel shortly after the tribunal affirmed his victory yesterday, Governor Fubara also thanked his principal and his supporters for standing by him. But the governor said the victory was a confirmation of the trust people have in him.
It's just to say thank you to God our Father, thank you to God His Son, and thank you to the Holy Spirit. And to appreciate my principal who has stood behind me and has created this opportunity with the help of every one of you here to say a big thank you. Because if it doesn't mean a matter to him, he won't sit in the court from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is the beginning of the confirmation of the trust that you people showed on that very day. We will not take it for granted.
Earlier, the Government House chaplain of the Government House Chapel, Reverend Organ Barasin, prayed for God's protection over the lives of the governor and his deputy. But Reverend Barasin also advised the governor to apply justice, show mercy, and be humble in the discharge of his duties.
You will succeed. Yeah. When God has done something good for you, it's good to come back and say, Father, I appreciate you. Promotion comes from God. Yes, I agree. God works through the instrumentality of men to lift us. Your Excellency, sir, God has lifted you. But 3 things the Lord requires from you. Number 1, justice stays in your hands, so to speak. You are a father to all. Number 2, you say love mercy. And number 3, you say walk humbly. Everything the Lord has put in your heart for Rivers State will come to pass.
Also, the APC governorship candidate Tony Cole spoke on the tribunal judgment.
I really would like to see what the judges stood on to make their decisions. Not all the decisions were agreeable to them, but we've heard what they want to say, so let's see. The main case is that APC withdrew, and as a result of that, my own rights were infringed on. So I don't agree with it. But again, I need to see the basis for which the law allows me to continue the case. The judges in their wisdom have said that APC's withdrawal nullifies my case. That's a bit surprising.
Also, the Labour Party deputy governorship candidate in Rivers State, Sam Kinane, says the party will appeal the judgment of the governorship election petition tribunal in Abuja.
If we end it here, we'll not be able to let Nigerians feel the pains we feel the pain of the robbing that was done at the election. One thing I keep telling people, whether we get the kind of justice that we expected or not, if we do not take the matter to court, the court will say, yes, we were waiting, they did not come. Now that we have taken it to the court and we have shown every evidence available, they have come to do a nullification. So we are still going to take it to the Supreme Court, and let's also hear from them.
Well, yesterday, the Rivers State Governorship Election Tribunal sitting in Abuja dismissed the petitions filed by candidates of the Labour Party and the APC against the victory of Siminalayi Fubara as governor of the state. Well, Labour Party's Beatrice Etubo and APC's Tony Cole had approached the tribunal to contest the victory of PDP's Siminalayi Fubara in the 18th March election. Well, the 3-member panel or tribunal led by Cletus Emifonyi threw out the petition by the Labour Party candidate and the party for lacking merit and for failing to prove their allegations. Also, delivering judgments in the petitions filed by Cole and the APC, the panel dismissed their suits for lacking merit. Emifonyi added that the petitioners also failed to prove their allegations of election rigging. Well, recall that INEC declared Fubara the winner of the election after he got 302,614 votes to defeat Cole, who scored 95,274 votes. Well, Magnus Abe of the Social Democratic Party had 46,981 votes, while Itubo came in fourth with 22,224 votes. Away from that, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association (NECA) has commended the federal government and the organized labor for the resolution reached to avert the indefinite strike in the country. Director General of NECA, Smart Oyerinde, gave the commendation during an interview today. Well, yesterday, organized labor suspended its planned nationwide indefinite strike for 30 days after a marathon meeting that ended around 11 p.m. A memorandum of understanding was signed by the NLC President Joe Ajaero and General Secretary Emmanuel Ubaja, as well as the TUC President Festus Osifo and Secretary General Nuhu Toro. But the 3-page document was also signed by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Onyejocha, and Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. The resolution followed over 5 hours of deliberations between the federal government and Labour at the Chief of Staff Conference Room of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Well, the Minister of Labour and Employment read the agreement.
The issue of outstanding salaries and wages of tertiary education workers in federal-owned educational institutions is being referred to Ministry of Labour and Employment for further engagement. The federal government commits to pay $25,000 per month for 3 months, starting from October 2023, to 15 million households, including vulnerable pensioners. The NLC and the TUC accept to suspend for 30 days the planned indefinite nationwide strike scheduled to begin Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2023.
NLC President Joe Ajaero also spoke on this.
After 30 days, if these issues are not implemented, we'll revisit all the issues. No, the ones that have that timeline. Because if they are not implemented within that period, it shows bad faith. The workers at the state level will have organs in those places that use this as a benchmark to go towards the implementation. That's the essence of suspending a strike. When you suspend a strike, we will return back to work.
But TUC President Festus Osifo further spoke to newsmen.
We believe that when this is implemented and also when it's cascaded down, because there's a portion in the agreement that talks about what will be done, or rather the encouragement that should be given to people working in the private sector and also to people that are working in the state as well as local government. So we believe that when this is cascaded down, it will alleviate the pains that Nigerians are facing at the moment.
Recall that after Sunday's meeting, the Labour leaders agreed to take the new government offer to their various organs for consideration in order to call off today's proposed strike. But President Bola Tinubu succumbed to the 35,000 naira provisional wage increment demand by Labour after his initial 25,000 naira approval for the average low-grade worker to run for 6 months was rejected. Still to come, boat accident kills 22 people in Niger State. Stay tuned. Activities to kick off World Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Rivers State Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the World Health Organization and Engraced Life Foundation, has organized a breast cancer health awareness walk to raise awareness for cancer, its prevention, and possible treatments. The awareness walk, which was held in Port Harcourt, took up from Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic, Rumola, to Stadium Road, Aba Road, and down to the off points with over 150 participants who were all dressed in pink. Speaking during the event, the president of the Nigerian Cancer Society, Al Hassan Umar, who was represented by Dr. Dozie Akwarando, emphasized the importance of timely preventive measures which will help to reduce the incidence of breast cancer in the community.
Cancer is no longer a death sentence. There are so many people who have beat cancer for years, who are living with it. When you have unusual fever, weight loss, it's normal to lose weight, but there are sometimes it's abnormal. This issue of fatigue, whether you're stressed, you're not stressed, you're tired, unusual, those are the signs that something is wrong with you. Then for breast cancer, basically, there is lump. There are things that you can modify in your life that can help you to live without cancer.
Well, on her part, the founder of Engraced Life Foundation, Ethel Olomu, who is also a stage 4 breast cancer survivor, highlighted the significance of collective action in creating a supportive and community education in the fight against breast cancer.
You need to know how healthy your breast is every month. Breast cancer is not a respecter of anybody. It doesn't have class. It doesn't say, okay, I'm only going to come to the rich man's house or the poor man's house. And that's what we are doing, the education. This week, we have like 3 communities that we are going to with just the women. Last year, during the same program, a father walked in with a 10-year-old girl which had full-blown cancer already. So we now know that, okay, so the children need to also be breast health aware. So we even take it to the secondary school.
Well, some participants also spoke to our correspondent.
Doing the breast cancer screening is a privilege, and I'm happy that I was satisfied. Okay. My advice to everyone, especially our women, is they should always go for screening. Early detection saves life.
And I just heard it while listening to radio, and I came. I was attended to other ladies who have not known their status on cervical cancer screening and breast cancer screening. It's very necessary that every woman should know their status in order to be safe. I want to say a big thank you to Pink Niger.
I've been screened and I'm okay, so I would advise all men to go out there, get yourself screened. Get your partners, your sisters, your wife, your mothers, your friends. Get them screened.
Our correspondent reports that there was a free breast cancer and cervical screening for participants. The screening will continue at various locations throughout the month of October. The theme for this year's World Cancer Day is Close the Care Gap. 22 people have died after a boat carrying them capsized. The incident happened while they were traveling from Kasabo village in Agwara local government area of Niger State to Yauri in Kebbi State. The Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Saliu Garba, said the boat mishap happened yesterday. In business, the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Shegun Ajayi, has commended the government for the 7.5% value-added tax waiver on automotive gas oil, commonly called diesel, but questioned the rationale behind the 6-month time frame set for the waiver. And in entertainment, the ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch and his British partner are facing allegations of exploitation from men recruited for sex events that they hosted around the world. In sports, Super Eagles head coach Jose Santos Posero has called up Kenneth Omeruo, Bright Osai Samuel, Alex Iwobi and Terem Murphy ahead of this month's international friendlies against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique in Portugal.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Pope Francis has suggested that he would be open to having the Catholic Church bless same-sex couples. We're responding to questions from a group of cardinals. The pontiff said any request for a blessing should be treated with pastoral charity. Well, the Pope said the Church cannot be judges who only deny, reject, and exclude. And that's the news. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this afternoon, you heard that the police are still mute days after fire explosion killed scores of people at an illegal oil refining site in Emoha in Rivers State. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and APC governorship candidate Sonye Cole have reacted to the tribunal judgment on Rivers State governorship election. Stakeholders have commended the organized labor and the federal government for reaching an agreement on the planned strike. And on the foreign scene, you heard that Pope Francis says he is open to having the Catholic Church bless same-sex couples. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. Partly sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good afternoon.